Big deep breath for this one. The Seagull Models Cessna 310 from Gator Rc. It's finally Maiden Day. Let's go. All right, guys, some things I want to cover with you here before we actually get started with the Maiden. If you just want to go to the Maiden, skip all this, you're just here to watch, go ahead, zoom right through on the scroll bar and get flying. If this is a model you're considering, it's an 81-inch twin engine Seagull's Model Cessna 310, available at Gator. Links for everything I use down below. It's set up to be twin 15cc engines with outward thrust on both of those to offset the P factor. 81-inch, somewhere I think 23.5 pounds is where I finished. I want to cover some important things with you that I learned along the way, things that I've changed and would be important to you if you want to tackle this job. And again, the reason I'm doing it now is because I am not immune to Maiden things going wrong. It is beautiful here at the field. We've been waiting for the perfect day. I think I have it. So if anything happens, no excuses. It's me or something I did, right? It's not going to be the weather. So first things first, this plane is absolutely gorgeous in the details. Aluminum spinners. I was going to do counter rotating, couldn't make it work because of spinners. The motors I chose, the shafts weren't long enough because you can only do 3-blade master air screw counter rotating props. These are 16-inch Falcons, and ultimately I ended up, because one would have to be reverse, right, in the spinner cut, and it's really hard to find that stuff. So I opted to do both of these going the normal counterclockwise rotation, and that's where we ended up. If you're starting and considering this, if you go with the Avian recommended motors, you would be able to do the master air screw. You can find uncut spinners at 70 mil and you could do it that way, but you don't know what you don't know. So here's the big stuff. Number one, again, we are running the TD-SR18 in this. I wound up using up most of those ports. I did decide to put uni lights in because if you're going to do lights, I love to see it. I love pin switches, so that way I know things aren't or are powered, and it's a mechanical switch, but it's not something that's going to wear out like your regular on and off. 5401 free sky servos all the way around. 5301s for the gear doors in there, but this is the big area. I needed a little over 2 pounds of nose weight running an electric setup with 8100s, and they were set up to be right here and back. I trimmed out the former, re-supported the top, and I could get my 8100 SMC slid all the way up to there. Okay, so you could see that cut a pound, so I took 1.5 pounds of nose weight out by doing that, which got me to 23.5. It's not very hard to do and lay that in there. Strap locations, I would advise it, highly advise it. Lighter is going to fly better, right? The other thing I had issues with is the nose gear sequencing doors. I could just never get them to operate where they weren't getting hung up. So what I opted to do was I cut in 2 micro servos, made the arms work. I used the hinge locations down at the bottom. I made my own and epoxied those fast. The arms will come up into here, and those are just sequenced in with the other doors off the JP retract controller. So JP gear all the way around. And really the other modification was, you'll see 2 dimples here and here. There's actually cuts in the covering, which is for the wheel collar of the retract gear. When you put your gear in, if you do it without the wheels on there and the collars, the wheels hit the sheeting to stop it from coming through, but they put those recesses in there to give you a little bit more space. So what I did, so they don't poke through that covering at all, and to keep the sheeting from cracking, is I laid in a carbon fiber, and you'll see that in there in my build series. So not a lot of weight, but we strengthened up those pockets so we don't have any issues. But otherwise, a pretty straightforward. I am opting on this. I have FAS 100 current sensors from FreeSky, and there's some things to be discussed with those. You could read actual amperage, you can read voltage, and you can configure it to actually tell you milliamp telemetry, which was a feature I loved on my Jetty. You can get it here and you can get the alarms for it, but when I did my testing, it's off in its calculation, and currently they don't have a way to adjust that. So it's not like a lot of the other sensors out there that has calculated changes you can put in. So I just set my alarm for a lower milliamp capacity than the batteries I am running, which are twin 8100s, individual 6S systems, and those go literally all the way up to there. So anyway, another big deep breath, off to the Maiden. Here you can see the data, milliamps used, ESC temperatures, and amperage. And we have a regular timer, receiver batteries, regular telemetry. All right, folks, here we go. It's finally Maiden day. Last time I was this nervous for a Maiden, I was flying a Pitts, a 47% Pitts for the first time. So not even gonna lie, that's probably the coolest part about this hobby is the nervousness or adrenaline. And yeah, I'm trying to talk to you to ease some of that. We're gonna do no gyro, factory recommended throws, no flaps on takeoff, factory CG. And this thing, through my ground testing, has definitely wanted to do its thing and take off. So again, we have flaps on flight modes coming in, so that way I can adjust everything as far as elevator mix up or down to each flap position independently. 6%. Okay, gyro right now again is off. All of our range tests are good. Surface checks are okay. Camera girl is ready, thanks much. And caution into the wind, guys, here we go. Throttle is active. Taking off left to right, going up, and we'll see what happens. 5-minute timer set for now. We'll probably land when the timer goes off, and we'll judge milliamp capacity and stuff again later from my last adjustment. But get those motors started, guys, and up we go. Taking off. Oh wow, gear up. Gear is up. That is stable. Whew. This is my first twin, mind you. Got a few clicks. Gotta quit shaking. Whew. It's hard to talk, shake, and fly all at the same time. Half throttle. Right there, no roll, no yaw. Dealing with the wind. All right. Takeoff was so smooth. Again, no flaps, no gyro. That's recommended low rates. That feels good.
Medium rate.
Gonna click into mediums.
3 minutes and 30 seconds.
Still shaking. Just getting used to it. Still think just a couple clicks of elevator. It really feels good. No real reason to be this nervous other than it's my first twin.
3 minutes.
And there's so many things going on there. You could cruise, guys, with this setup, Sunny Sky Motors. I'm at half throttle, just putzing around. See what full looks like. Medium rates. Not a whole lot difference. Little down pressure. You can really see them uni lights, man. Them things look great.
And 30 seconds.
See if I can bring it by for a little bit lower of a pass. Got to get my gumption around me. That was full. A little bit of a difference in speed. between
2 minutes.
half and full, not a ton. I could tell you that this thing feels like when you get it, the wings pass like a certain, I don't know what the right word is for that, like angle, like it almost wants to dip in. Like I can see how this would wingtip stall
High rate.
if you weren't careful. Try and go up and do a roll.
Minute and 30 seconds.
Oh, that's high rate. That was good. Not quite symmetrical. Not bad. I don't know if you see many Cessna 310s do a roll. That was just straight aileron too. Oh my God, power for days. This is not a lacking model at 23 pounds for power. I think that other 1.5 pounds I shaved out by adding in that extra bay extension for the batteries is definitely worth it. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna work at getting flaps down, gear down. Again, no gyro yet on this flight. And I'm gonna start to dirty this up and see how she behaves with flaps and make adjustments. So we're gonna bring it by here for now, just half flaps and see what happens.
Flaps half.
And again,
30 seconds. Flaps
my flaps are on a delay.
Flaps half. Trim center. Flaps up.
All right, that climbed really bad on half. And again, we're not going super fast, but
Flaps half.
that's good. I like that. Now, the way I have flaps set up is that it'll carry that setting even though flaps are off. Right now, when I go back to half and I go to full, it's gonna carry at least that setting with me. So hopefully it's not a huge change. And again, I'm trying to keep enough power here.
Flaps half. Flaps full. Trim center. Flaps half. Flaps up.
All right, so there we go. All right, so let's try gear down.
Gear down. Flaps half.
Half flaps. Keep power in it. That looks good. We're gonna turn on the final, deploy fulls.
Full.
Let it glide slope in. Ooh, that's a little rough. So we need some airspeed for sure coming in there. Trimming the weeds again. So ultimately, I'll put in just a little bit more of up trim to help with that glide slope. So you guys can see what that timer is on this thing. And know how long we're up in the air. We'll check the cells again on 8100s. But obviously we'll take a look at the gear. JP retracts on this. Everything looks okay. And I did reinforce the mounts a little bit. But that front mount is all aluminum in there. So really it's the back mounts, but they do have some shocks and struts on there. So hopefully that thing lived. A little bit of breeze here today, but it's not a ton. You saw it going back and forth. So I think a gyro would help. But I think it'll just take a couple clicks. Otherwise, it flew pretty good and smooth. I liked it. The landing, I'll give myself a 3 out of 10. Not my best, but for a different plane for me, I will take it. Now, according to what I have on my transmitter, We're about 95 degrees Fahrenheit temps and 25 on each side as far as milliamps used. So out of 8100s, that means I should have been able to fly a very, very long time yet. So let's check it out and see what we get. All right, we're gonna go ahead and pop off our hatch. That's really easy to come off. Let's turn off our lights. We don't need those. Put that in for now. And let's deactivate. And let's just see what we got. 8100s, you guys saw the flight time, if I had to guess, 7 minutes. 60% left there. And 57 there. So for runtime, that's fantastic. Not even really taxing the battery packs or the system. And those are my special made wing bolts that I put in there. But let's do the wrap up. So, ooh-wee. Yeah, that's nerve-wracking. I enjoyed it. I think that was a fantastic flight. We'll work on smoothing that out a little bit. But if you guys, let's wrapping this up, Seagull Models Cessna 310, 81-inch wingspan from Gator Rc, can do gas or electric. Mine's obviously electric. You saw the runtime. What a very cool, nerve-wracking experience. But gear held up well. Check the gear out, no issues. So it took a good dorking here on the field. Props still look good. Those Falcons are really nice. Trimming the weeds. Power, it's adequate for this thing. I really liked where I came in for weight. You saw the modifications at the beginning. If not, go back and check that out. So this wraps up this series, guys. If you liked it, do me a favor, smash that thumbs up. If you didn't, you're gonna give me one of those. Give me 2 because I'm so terrible. Shameless plug to like, share, subscribe to all of our social media content for both Just Plain Crazy and Gator RC over on YouTube, Facebook especially, and then we have Instagram, TikTok, whatever. But this was an amazing project for me for a twin, 6S setups, free sky guidance and servos. Everything felt really good in the air. Again, a little bouncy. So my next flight, I'm going to go ahead and turn that gyro on, and we're going to set that thing up, and we're going to see how much that helps to deal with the wind. But no gyro in the beginning, no flaps in the beginning, and honestly, I don't even think it needs flaps to get off the ground. Had plenty of power, and it got off pretty smoothly. So I was really, really happy with that. But you know, there it is in all of its glory. Still intact after the Maiden. Yes, yes, yes. So off to other projects. That's a wrap on the Seagull's Model Cessna 310. Links for everything down there below. Don't forget to check out Gator RC for your full line of hobby products, whether it's Seagull models, balsa, composite, trainer planes, foam planes, whatever. Your one-stop hobby shop, www.gator-rc.com, to check out your Cessna. And if that's not your cup of tea, top RC models, Seagull's models, covered, uncovered, you name it, sub art models, they got it all, guys. So with that being said, I'm out. See you later, alligator.